podcast 14, which is pretty amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep, 14, which is one of my lucky numbers. Just throwing that out there.
How can you have more than one lucky number?
It's a number that I like. I like the shape of it. I like the sound of it. I tend to like even numbers. I like 8. That's number 1. 14 would be number 2. It's an alternate, just in case 8 were to somehow get lost from the I was going to say the alphabet. That's silly. So our podcast today is going to be about. We want to talk about childbirth and running, pregnancy and running.
Yeah.
But first we just wanted to say that we have our first official guest, right? Took us 14 podcast episodes, and we have Beth Midwood here to talk about her experiences, and so this is momentous for us.
Yeah.
I feel honored
Honored?
to be the first guest,
Yes.
and bring along my expertise of running while pregnant, and then running post pregnant, after birth. Not talking about after birth.
Let's not get into this.
But that's a different subject for a different day, maybe a different podcast altogether. I don't know where to begin. I'll probably, where should I start?
Well,
what do you think?
So when you found out, were you running? Were you training for anything when you found out that you were pregnant?
So the first time, my little backstory, I do have 2 lovely little girls, one who's 4, the other one who's just about 17 months. First time, we were trying to get pregnant, and kind of just, didn't happen that quickly, but it happened, and very excited, very nervous for first time mom to be.
Yep.
At the time, I was helping out with the beginning runner group that we hold here, and found out I was pregnant, and we were actually kind of almost at the end of our session, and so that was good because mentally, doctors told me it was good for me to run. I did not think so.
So did you plan on running throughout the whole deal?
So I tried to, but I did get a little nervous, which that it tends to happen because you just kind of don't know what to expect.
Right. Yeah.
And you hear a lot of horror stories, read a lot of silliness on the internet, which is, get inside your head in a different form. So I just kind of went off how I felt. Probably stopped running around end of first trimester, beginning of second trimester, when they say that you are actually feeling better. I didn't have any morning sickness. There were some adverse effects to food, but it wasn't that bad. But it was more me just being nervous and cautious. The weather was fine. It was the beginning of summer. I was just working on my summer bod.
Growing a human.
Working on my beach bod. But on the same level, I was trying to stay healthy, so I had to find an alternative to,
Did you do something else?
I did. I did
like,
spinning.
Spin?
And I walked a lot, but
My wife really liked when we did the cycle bar class, and she's pregnant, and she had taken a couple of months off from running, but she found the spin class kind of. It's a workout, but it's not as
it's not as intense.
Yeah.
But you're not. It's still pretty intense, but it's not as much impact.
She kept saying that she felt like it was just gonna fall out.
Oh,
That's how I felt when I was
went for
running.
a run, yeah.
That's kind of
I mean,
how
you physically felt.
Essentially, the baby is not going to fall out,
It's not.
but you do feel like that, and there's just a lot of pressure that's being put in certain areas that you just don't really know what to
So
expect
when you're doing
the first time.
when you're doing the spin class, not as
You're a
much.
little bit more in control
Yeah.
because you're on a bike essentially, and then you can sit down, which is helpful. So I did that about until pretty much I couldn't hoist myself up into a bike, which was about 36 weeks. So
Wow, right.
yeah, you're pretty much that got me to December-ish. Good. It was about almost before Christmas, so that kind of felt like okay, that's the end of that. So then I just kind of walked and, as much as I could until it became really, well, no, that's a lie. I walked until about, 4 days before I was due, or past my due date, because everybody's pregnancy is different.
Yeah.
I was overdue, so I was trying to walk the baby out, so that didn't also work, but it's okay. Second time around, though, you feel a little bit more like an expert, even though you're not. You feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
So I did run until it got, so different time of year, got pregnant at the beginning of the year, almost 2 years ago. And, well, actually, no, it was 2 years ago. And then throughout the summer, so I kind of felt a little bit more comfortable, knew physically and mentally that the baby was not going to fall out of my belly. And just kind of took it and really wanted to stay healthy. Plus, I was trying to, coerce a toddler around at the same time as being pregnant, so I had to stay active.
Yeah, that's for
And
sure.
so I just did what I could. Got to eventually, it was July. I remember I was here, it was really hot out, and then I knew it was about that time. So I was probably about maybe 30 weeks-ish pregnant when I stopped really running, and it was more of just like, okay, take a walk, and you're good. You feel like you did something. So
But the whole idea, I guess, is, fitness and the exercise really helps with
super
delivery.
important. Yeah, it does. The delivery process. I don't know what it's like to go into actual labor myself without the assistance of getting induced. But the whole after that happens, the process moves along. Yes, super helpful mentally. You got the adrenaline rushing, and you don't want to stop. You just go and especially having a very active husband. He gets it because he runs too. Being there and supporting you. So me really, but not the two of you.
Support.
But you guys are definitely, obviously, very supportive.
Yeah.
Husbands.
Yeah, we try.
But yeah, that helped too. So that was, it was good. It was good. Everything went, not as planned, but it went as well as it could. So it was good. It was good. After, though, that's been rather interesting.
Yeah. So, is there a period of time, like what did your doctor say, like how long you should wait before you actually got back out there?
So the first time, I did wait the full 6 weeks, but again, that was a very snowy winter that we had that 4 years ago, almost 5. So I kind of had to wait, but I walked around the mall, so that felt good after it was 6 weeks for regular delivery. 8 weeks usually is a C-section. So I had to wait that 6. I kind of was, again, a little bit more cautious your first time. You don't know what to expect. You're kind of in this cloud. And then, baby's not sleeping, the whole 9.
Yeah.
So once the weather kind of broke, we got into a little bit better of a routine, but once my older one, Emma, turned 1, then I kind of felt like this is it for me. I can go on. I'm good. She's good. We're good. But yeah, it was kind of at the beginning. It was a little tough to kind of get back into. You find your routine though. You find your way. It's tough, but it works, and it helps the baby. Being outside helps with the fresh air. Getting in the motion of the stroller, it helps their sleeping habits, and for them to get into a napping schedule.
Did you find kind of the same thing with the second child that it was like easier to get back into the running game?
A lot easier.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Different time of year.
Yeah.
So that I was a little bit more lax. Second time around,
You were
I
kind of just like, I got this.
came home from the hospital. Probably 3 days later, I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'll just take a walk around the block," and probably a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
So that was like, a week postpartum. It was really like, I probably, it was maybe a month that I felt like, okay, I can do this. And it was still relatively nice out. So luckily I had friends and a cousin who had recently had babies around the same time. So we all kind of got together when we could, went out the door as much as we could. So it was good. It was good. It was October into November, so it was still like
Good weather, yeah.
still nice out and daylight was huge. But you're still in like a cloud, and again, you're trying to coerce a toddler around at the same time. Different scenario.
Was it like running with like, what would you do with the children? Would you take them with you, or would you more like
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
a double jogger
Do a
stroller?
double jogger
jogger.
thing. First time around, once I got comfortable with Emma being in the stroller, and they usually say around 6 months is when they have really good head control. So 4 to 6 months, depending upon the baby. So you kind of want to make sure that they can hold their head up pretty strong and.
Can I have one of my babies going to have them do some like neck exercises so I can
You
out
can.
there?
Get out there quicker.
It's-
Yeah. Get out there earlier in the stroller.
Like neck curls or something?
You never
Come on,
know,
kid.
they might come
Let's
out,
go.
walking. Tummy time is a huge
Tummy time is big.
neck.
Tummy time
neck
all day.
Strengthening exercise. It got to be a little more difficult as Emma was getting bigger and realizing that she couldn't get out of the stroller because she needed to stay in it. I ate snacks.
Love
Snacks were huge.
Yeah.
It was a little easier when they're a little smaller because they fall asleep.
Mhm.
So it's nice, and you don't have to talk to anybody, unless you're with somebody. But, as they get older, you need them to be
They gotta be doing
snacks.
something.
Snacks are
Snacks.
huge. Snacks and, books,
Yeah.
toys,
Things for them to do.
things for the just, if you're not on the move all the time.
Yeah. They don't get entertained by the trees. Now,
Not
the old
typically,
boy.
no. And then once they start talking, Mom, why aren't you moving? I'm like, because Mom needs a break. But
Running
it's
so fast.
yeah, it's a
Running
little
so
bit more interesting when you get two of them, because then they're now stealing each other's snacks and they're next to
You have
each
to
other.
like be like
And I
a
have to
police
be like a
officer
police
walking,
officer and
jogging.
don't touch that, and we're listening to music. Mom, can you change the music? Why do we have so many opinions? Mom's just trying to get out the door.
Let me just-
So now it's just finding the time to do it. So that's probably the most difficult, but when it gets nicer out, I think it'll be better, more conducive.
Do you find that it's, when you want to get out there and do a run, do you find that it's more helpful to have a spouse who also runs and understands?
Absolutely.
And like tag team with you?
I can't express that enough. When Emma turned 1, my husband and I discussed me doing a marathon. So then I said, I became a mom, and you get lost in the situation. But then you find yourself after a year, and then you want to do something for yourself. So self-care and self-help is huge after becoming a first-time mom. So me training for a marathon was more me self-care, self-help sort of thing.
Just
Getting
being
out of the
an outlet,
house.
yeah.
Just getting out of the house. Just remembering that you're still a mom, but remembering that you're still you. And I think that is huge for a lot of people. So still having some sort of a physical activity. You don't need to necessarily train for a marathon. You can just have somewhere to go, just to get yourself out of the house. I did not bring Emma on every single run that I did, because I was running for hours.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
a lot. So it was more me every Saturday. That would just be my time, and it would just be about me, and that's it. So it was nice. It was nice to. You need that mental time. You know, maybe needs to bond with the spouse. You know, on that level. So.
So when you start training for the marathon, and that was like say maybe when Emma was 1.
Yep. So it was 2016
Yeah.
that I did that.
So probably you were feeling. How did you feel physically? Did you feel stronger?
As I
Or-
so that was adrenaline kind of kicked in after I found my legs could
Yeah.
still run. Yes, and you know, certain days no. So similar to I think like training for a marathon in general,
Right.
whether or not you gave
It's a-
birth.
right, it's
I
a
think
daunting
you kind
task.
of there was a lot of learning along the way. And a lot of things had changed in my body, so that was a learning curve for me. But otherwise, yeah, you know, once a runner, always a runner.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
It's like
kind of
riding a bike.
Yeah, exactly.
you never forget.
Yeah. My wife said that she that after she got through all of the physical pains, aches and pains.
Everybody's
and-
different.
Right,
Everybody's
exactly.
recovery time is
Yeah.
different. Yeah. Did she find that
Well,
it was easier?
you know, it was at first it was very difficult, right? She waited 8 weeks, and then when she got back out there initially, like the first time, she said it was really hard. She was feeling and different sensations, and her body felt different. And but she said after she had gotten through, which was months, maybe even a year after.
Yeah.
Once her, everything was, healed and felt right, and there were some things that always kind of felt different.
Of
she said.
course.
But she said that she felt so emotionally empowered, but physically strong. Having
So
been
true.
through childbirth, she said, and she said she felt better than she ever had.
So
And
it
she was running better and
very,
stronger.
very, very true.
And she PR'd too.
I can't even yeah, it
She
does.
PR'd, yeah.
I always it's funny. I joke on how marathon training is very similar to pregnancy and giving birth. The whole thing. You train. You try to eat right, and you do what you can, and your body is it's physically ready, and you're mentally ready, and you get to the end, and then that's it. You on the finish line, essentially, in
Right,
both,
race day
you
is
know,
here, yeah.
Yeah.
that's it. And I remember very vividly when I went to go give birth to Annabelle, who was my second. I said to my husband, I said, I am mentally here. I said, but I'm going to need some sort of a picture or video. And I said, he had taken a video of me when I finished my marathon, or almost finishing the marathon. And I remember I was running, and I said, I never want to do this again. So then I said, I just need to see that video to kind of have something to focus on, and just to get her out. So, because that was a little bit longer than the first time around, which is usually it's the opposite. But yeah, I was like, okay, I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Let's do it now.
But yeah, no, totally. Currently, it's a little dicey weather-wise outside for me, but I've been feeling better, and I think I want to do a half marathon just based on timing
Yeah.
and the amount of time that I have. So do half marathon train and hopefully PR.
Cool.
So that's a goal of mine.
My wife hit her PR after my daughter was born.
Yeah.
She PR'd.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping happens. I did not PR on the marathon that I did, but still just to mentally feel like I could still do it. That was like any other. So it was good. It was good. Yeah. So that's.
Which marathon did you do?
I did the Mount Desert Island Marathon. Probably not a
Oh, yeah,
marathon
that's
that I
the
want
marathon.
to,
Not
that
the flattest
really
marathon around.
couldn't
A good
PR
one.
in, but my first half was pretty good for, being really hilly. Very challenging. I didn't pick the, flattest marathon, so it's all right. It's cool. Yeah, so that's my story.
Good one.
Yeah, it's very impressive,
Yeah.
for sure.
No more babies though.
Done?
Young babies? And do you find you had to do like a bunch of like other stuff besides run, like strength training and like,
Yeah, so strength training was probably more key than running itself.
Yeah.
You know, the running, you never really lose that, especially being already running, you know, years prior, and doing marathons before. So prior to that marathon, I had done 5 other marathons, but that was a decade ago that I had done the last one. So I knew that I could mentally do this, but it was more, I had to get the strength back up there. The abdominals were not where they used to be.
That's
And
what
lots of other
yeah.
things were not where they used to be, so
Yeah.
I kind of had to figure that out and get that to be stronger, because, you know, if the core's not strong, then what is this all for?
right?
Yeah, my wife said that too. Like she had to strengthen her core because she had difficulty in her abdomen, bladder control.
Yeah, and that, like, a lot of things changed.
Yeah.
A lot of jostling goes around when babies start growing inside you, so that can kind of put a strain on things, but, you know, you do what you can, and, you know, yoga helps.
Yeah, yoga was huge for my life.
Strengthening and then mentally, that's self-awareness is huge, awesome. So that was good. But yeah, it was great.
And we went to a birthing class this weekend,
Super fun.
and it was like, yeah, super fun. For me, it like scared the crap out of me.
Well, I did too. We went to one of those and it scared the heck out of me. I was
Like,
like,
Christine's like,
oh,
I feel better about things. I'm like, really?
Good.
You feel better
You
about
should.
things after seeing all that? And, but,
Because it's such a natural thing.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's good though.
Kind
That
of gives
she
you an
feels
idea
good,
of
not so
what,
much for
yeah,
you.
gives you an idea of what you need to do and all that fun stuff. But,
Good.
when they showed the picture of like the baby and what it does to your stomach and your bladder, it's like, wow, no wonder why, like, she has to stop every 2 seconds to go pee. It's like, it just pushes that
I
thing
don't
out.
really, you know, look into. I didn't watch YouTube videos of birth, whatever. I just said my birth story is gonna be my birth story, and you can't
You're just
really
gonna do what
birth
you gotta
story,
do.
and that's just kind of like you're mentally in it. That's where that runner mentality is just like, this is just how it's gonna be.
Right.
You know, and the doctors are well aware if anything were to happen, go wrong, they're there.
Right.
This is not their first rodeo. They've dealt with a lot. So that's kind of, I didn't really worry myself a lot in that. I was at the end here, just like, all right, enough is enough. Just come out already. But yeah, hopefully for your wife, you know, it's on time.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
always my hope every time I hear someone that's pregnant. Don't go a week over, because that's torture.
Yes,
So
yeah.
you do everything you can to try to get that baby out. and
Right.
Nothing works. Everything's a myth. But it's all right.
It's true. Everybody is like different. You know?
So different.
That's what my wife said too. She's like, you know what, my pregnancy is different than others, and so, you know, you can listen to people's stories and hear how it's supposed to go, but in the end, it's just gonna go the way it goes.
That's it.
It's kind of like, you know, kind of like race day too.
Kinda like race
Kind of like
day.
going out for a run. You never
You
really
don't
know.
know
Right.
what kind of weather
Yeah.
it's going to be like
True.
on race day. You have no idea what to expect. Just gonna go, just go.
Right.
go off the
You can
cuff.
be as prepared as you can be,
You
and
could
you
have
never really know.
You train
Yeah.
9 months for a marathon, and then
Yes.
race day comes and different things happen.
What a metaphor. I mean, isn't that wild?
Right.
It really is.
It really is.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool though. It's great being a parent. Changes a lot of
I
things in your just your day to day, but it's good change. It's a lot of just doing a lot of things different than you just did do before, but you just learn to go off the cuff.
Like, what kind of things? What am I gonna have to do?
I mean,
Besides, like, change diapers.
well,
and, like,
yeah, I mean
feed and
that
all
alone.
that
But no, I mean like watching them grow is like a change.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge change. They grow, they develop, they look. I mean, they just start discovering their world.
Mhm. Develop their own little
amazing. They
personalities.
do.
They develop their
They
personalities,
do.
yeah.
And, you know, I mean, with your kids, they're a little older, and that's a whole different ballgame that you're dealing with than from where I am. And it's, yeah, but it's so fun. It's so fun to watch them grow, especially together.
Yeah. And then they start to interact with each other.
That gets
And,
interesting. That gets
that's pretty
interesting.
wild.
Yeah, because every day is not wonderful.
No, there are days where they're at each other's throats and they're bickering with each other, and then there are days where it's like autopilot,
Yeah.
total harmony, and it's like, wow,
What
you know,
happened?
they're working
Why
together,
can't you
solving
do
problems
everything?
together. I know, really. Why can't you do this every day? I want this every day. Try to step right into the situation and say, hey, what are you doing right now? It's totally cool. Be in line like this all the time. Do that again. Do that. Oh, that's great. Cool. Keep it up. Do this all the time. Doesn't always work that way.
No, it doesn't always work that way. With my two, they're one's talking. She talks a lot. Emma, she talks with both of them. In fact, so the other one just doesn't think that she has to talk. So she just, she says she's a woman of few words.
Yeah.
So that's okay. We're just, she steals things from the other one because she's, wants everything that the other one wants. It's fine. And then magically you see them reading a book together, and you're like,
Oh, that's
How did
what
that
it's
happen?
all
what is
about.
happening right now? Where am I? In the Twilight Zone? So it's fun. It's fun. But just, even if you only have one kid, still fun.
Yeah.
You just get into a routine, like, we were with Emma, and that's why I felt like I could run a marathon. Because we were in such a good routine with her, and then I ran my marathon, and then I got pregnant again.
Let's do this
I was
again.
like,
Here we go
"Alright,
again."
Here we go again.
Was the second one planned though, or was that just like
Yeah,
a
like a little bit.
kind of planned?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. It was in the talks,
Right.
but I didn't think it was gonna happen that quickly, because the first one did not happen that quickly. So
Same here.
that
Same
kind of
experience.
it was a little bit of a surprise, but always a good surprise. It just kind of, okay, yeah, let's do this again.
Right, it's game on.
Here we are.
Great.
So yeah, super fun though. Interesting, but
That-
it's fun. It's a lot of fun to see them together. So,
Can't wait.
oh man,
Yeah.
it's like no other. It's like no other.
Fun. Yeah. So Ray, your kids are a little older. What do you do to make sure that you can get out the door and do a run?
Well, as I said, it's important to have. Well, my wife also runs too, so
Yeah,
it's
how do you
important that
guys
she
balance that
understands.
out?
So we basically we value running, we value fitness, and it's important for us to go out and get our run in. So we cover for each other. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we have time right now. Go out and get out there and do it. There can't be any, maybe I'll do it later. When the moment comes, you train yourself to go out there and do it. Or not do it. There are days where I just don't do it. And we always have to build in the fact that some days you're just not going to be able to do it.
Right.
Something comes up and, kid is sick, or, kid has to be, kid has to be somewhere. Yeah. It's okay. You just kind of, you just have to accept that.
Just gonna get it in. Yeah.
But that's why it becomes so dire to when you have that moment to take it.
Yep.
Right.
Both of our families value that too. There's a certain value, a certain culture in the family of people doing things that are physically, physical fitness that involve athletics, whether it's running, swimming, whatever, bike riding. So everyone kind of supports each other, and that's very, very important. If we didn't have, if we both didn't have families that valued physical fitness and exercise, it would be really harder than
Yeah.
if we were in a family just didn't understand that. So cover for each other, take the moment when it's there, or not, and just accept it. We have, my wife really likes to run in the morning, early, and I don't. So my motor isn't running, so she'll usually go early. I'll deal with the kids that early. I can go later. So,
It's nice.
yeah.
It's
It's
How
just
do you do it?
tag team.
Sort of. Yeah. Just kind of have to make time.
Seize the moment.
Yep,
You gotta
my
seize the
husband,
moment.
he can sometimes go in the morning. I think it's, he doesn't like it, but he
Right.
has to take advantage of it, because he has to understand that if it doesn't get done, it's not gonna get done.
Right.
Yes.
He is very man of routine,
Yeah.
so that, he has to get something in. But it's, we make time, our health is wealth.
Right.
So.
And routine is important.
Yep.
So if you do have a routine, and it's hard to have a routine when you have kids because something unexpected could come up. But,
Yeah.
but the routine's obviously
Getting them
healthy
in a
no matter what.
routine is like
That's
good,
important.
and they, having them have like some sort of physical activity, obviously when of age appropriate, then, it's good. It's good for them. And it's good for them to be involved in something so that they know that this healthy lifestyle is
It's
a
important.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not just a, choice.
So you're modeling that.
Yeah,
That's what my wife and
yeah.
I do. We really want to model that behavior. We definitely want to stay fit. We want to do our run. We want to get it in. But also, we want to model that behavior for our
Yeah.
kids. We want them to see that as valuable. So we'll go to races. We'll bring them along to the track sometimes when we go running and
Yep.
have them run at the track, or go to a race and they'll do a youth race, and that's fun. So, but they see us getting our runs.
Your son
So-
he's into running.
Yeah.
Flying at that downtown.
Yeah,
Downtown
downtown
jingle.
jingle. Yeah, he did well with that. My daughter did that too, and she really enjoyed that. She's starting to get into it, and so it's good, And they might not be runners, but at least they'll value that it's important to do something
Yeah.
that involves physical fitness and exercise. And so it's all good.
Sounds good. Cool. Well, I think we got to
Yeah,
wrap it up here.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well,
But we could do 20 podcasts involving pregnancy and children.
Oh, yeah.
So we can revisit this.
Oh, I'm pumped.
Definitely.
I was very honored to be the first guest.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming by.
It's very, very
And
honored.
you are a natural. You just go.
Just chatting with friends.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's
That's what this podcast is all about.
We're just
Chatting with
chatting.
friends. We're just chatting. That's what it's all
Chatting.
about.
It's a good-
Talking about running and things related to
Yeah,
running.
it gets me, it brings me back.
Yeah. Right.
To a place that I was.
And that you're going to be, because you'll be training again for another
And then I'll go,
half
yeah,
marathon.
yeah,
Right.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never be pregnant again, but yeah.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
It was a good time though, good time. Well worth it.
Great. Do we have any idea what we want to talk about next week, Ray?
Well, I was thinking about talking about, and I didn't run this by you, but I was thinking about talking about running and aging.
Ooh,
Right.
aging. Oh,
Right,
God,
like
I feel
running
like
and
I'm
aging.
80 years old.
Right, because I remember I've been running for a long time, forever. I ran in junior high school, ran in high school, and I'm a different runner than I was then. And so, and I talk to different runners of different ages,
All right.
and we can talk a little bit about that.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, cool. So tune in next week and we'll chat about running and aging.